So as an engineer that awakened in this matrix, I kind of wanted to kind of walk through that and show how we're programmed by these belief systems, BS. So let's imagine that this is you. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. So what tends to happen is the labels that are put on the external part of us, we tend to identify with as ourselves. And part of that is belief systems. Part of that is the idea of hell, the idea of sin, the idea of God hating you, the idea of guilt, of killing Jesus or whoever. All of these are external things that are programmed to us, mainly by the people that we look up to or our parents. And these are the most important people in your life, so you really don't question them. And you tend to think the things that they tell you are true, but some of those ideas are very detrimental. It can cause you to hate yourself and believe that you're a sinner or think that you're going to hell or whatever belief system that they program you with that they haven't questioned themselves. And not everyone questions these things as they get older and start to realize that they're not the labels that they were given. And depending on how strong the programming is, even if you start to remove the external labels, there's still internal work that needs to be done. And that's part of the journey of going within and not identifying with these labels that are given to us. So you see, I'm wiping off these external labels that were given to me by external people, not myself, that I took on. But if I don't do the internal work, then I'm still going to have these beliefs. And that's the internal thing that no one else can get to. No one can get to the labels on how you feel about yourself, how you believe you are. And that's the truth. Spiritual journey is difficult because you have to open yourself up. And when you do that, you can now clean the inside. And this is what we would call the shadow work, where you get rid of the belief systems, you get rid of the hate, you get rid of the things that you thought were you because you were looking at the external reflection of the world and not the internal reflection of yourself. Because you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and your spirit has nothing to do with hell, the guilt, or the sin, or anything like that. That's all in the external experience that we tend to identify with as ourselves. And this is the tough work because you have to clean the ideas that you had of yourself, and they could have been given to you by people that have had supposedly good meaning. Maybe they were trying to save you from hell, not realizing that that's a belief system that's given to us to control us and keep us at a lower level of consciousness. And sin is just missing the mark. We all miss the mark. We've all made mistakes. Doesn't mean there's nothing inherently wrong with you, or that you're flawed, or that you have guilt for killing anyone or anyone's death or blood on your hands. A lot of these Christians, we won't even go there. Not yet, at least. And this is what Jesus was talking about, getting the beam out of your eye before you try to get the plank out of somebody else's eye. It's about having clear vision for yourself. And then you can reprogram yourself from the standpoint of the truth. And it's a whole different experience to this life. And now you're not the same labels that you were, or you don't identify with those labels. And it's a whole different experience of life. And this is the spiritual rebirth, or the awakening, or the enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. But this is your natural state. This is how we come in before we take on those belief systems. And this individual is a lot harder to control than the one that was looking through the world with the lens of those other belief systems. And this individual is not easy to control like the other one is. That's why this information is not mainstream.